right, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I am your caster, Bahamut. We have another Nexus Gaming Series matchup on our hand. This is the Division A. This is the cream of the crop. This is the top of NGS. I just wanted to introduce them like that because it's Division A. Like, I don't think I've actually casted a Division A game this season yet, so it's like I just get excited because like this is the top tier of NGS. Like I make a joke about it, but I'm being serious at the same time. Like we're gonna be seeing, this is supposed to be the crazy good play. So I'm really excited about this. Modo Gaming on the right hand side gonna be banning out the Genji here, and on the left we have Macaroni and Cheese. Let's talk really quickly about the map picks and bans during the coin flip phase. Can't speak tonight. Macaroni and Cheese went ahead and lost the coin flip, however you want to call it. They went ahead and banned out Braxis Holdout. Modo went ahead and followed that up with a ban on to Cursed Hollow. So first game is going to be picked up by members of Macraroni and Cheese on Infernal Shrines, and then we're going to be following that up with a map on Towers of Doom. I like it. I'm really excited about going to Towers of Doom. That's the big thing. We actually have Hanzo being hovered here for the ban, and that's Scattershot. Stream? Oh. Soon TM. We're gonna go ahead and ban out the Hanzo here. First pick onto the Grey Main. Not a surprise from Modo here. Not to say that that's like, oh, they only play Grey Main. It's just he's really I demand a refund. No, we're live, don't you? Emperor of Juice, we are live. You're just seconds behind. We're about to be going into this probably on the actual without the delay. But so yeah, Sonya Lucy are going to be being picked up here. Not a bad idea at all. So let's just talk about that Grey Main really quick. Grey Main offers a lot for the 4-man. He offers a lot for Shrine Clear and as well as a team fight. Go Macraroni. And then so on the left-hand side, that Sonya Lucio pickup, huge. I really like the Lucio pick because of the fact that, I mean, in any of the casts that you've probably seen me do, he's probably had a 100% pick rate, if I'm not mistaken. I think he might have been banned in a game last night or 2 nights ago. It all blurs together. I'm doing way too much. But Sonya, the other thing here is that we saw in the last game, Sonya being heavily prioritized as a ban, and that's smart because she's terrifying in the solo lane. On a map like this, she really excels, so they realistically need to consider how they're going to counteract that. Sorry, I chugged a bunch of water between the streams, so it's just like I have to burp now. My apologies, stream. We're going to go ahead and pick up Uther and Dahaka. Okay, so let's go. All right, so we've caught up with draft. Let's start making predictions. Let's start theory crafting a little bit. On the side of Modo Gaming, they've got a Grey Main Uther Dahaka. I realistically think that on the draft for Modo Gaming, they could go into either Malthael, ETC, or ETC Genji. And so I was going to be like, all right, Divine Shield on Dragonblade, Divine Shield on Mosh. I mean, what do you not want to deal with? Divine Shield on Tormented Souls. Granted, here's the thing. Unaverted, how you doing, bud? Thanks for swinging by. The other thing to note here is that they do have first pick after this ban phase, so Macaroni and Cheese could be going into one of those picks themselves. Now, granted, picking up it's a double solo laner. Now, Malthael could just be in the 4-man for the rotations. He's strong, and you can also swap him in and out with Sonya. So that is, it's not something that I often or really have ever seen, but you never know. Party Meow, thanks for swinging by. Edward 8 Think. Oh, wait. Eureka TV. Thank you guys for swinging by. Just, it's always so fun when, I don't know, like whenever I cast a different division, like I see different people popping up into my Twitch stream. So it's always so cool to see. Like, I always get excited about meeting more and more people from the community. So I'm trying to like jump around to like Div A, Div B, Div C all the time. So Monday I think we're picking up Div B, Div C, and then next week I'll try and get some more Div A games. But either way, back into the draft. We're done with the ban phase. We had a Garrosh ban on the side of Modo. it's a strong hero that would synergize with their team. I don't think that that would be really what the focus would be. I personally think that Diablo is very, very strong here. Apocalypse is phenomenal for a team fight. The other thing to consider is also Tyrael. Ooh. They're going to go ahead and pick up Arthas here. Phenomenal sustain with the Army of the Undead. Offers a lot for the team, as well as, you know, just that in a chase situation, he is pretty powerful because there's that Howling Blast. You connect that onto a couple people and just melt them down with Azul Jin. I really, really like the Zul'jin pick, actually, with the Lucio. Break It Down and Guillotine have, I think, a wonderful synergy in the fact that you can get low and then utilize Guillotine, but still have that buffer to be that low. It's not like, I got Guillotine off and I got one auto attack from a minion that was just happening to walk by. So I really like the combination that they're starting out here on the side of Macraroni and Cheese. But going over to the last two picks on the side of Modo, they're going to need something for their 4-man. Dahaka will be the solo laner. We have Greymane as their main damage and some of their clear. Uther is going to be their healer. They're going to need a tank to go with that. I personally say you get the Diablo or a Nubrak, and then... Ooh, I was gonna say actually Gul'dan, because I like the idea of a Horrify. But Kael'thas does offer a lot of good zoning potential. And just like that, they lock her in. I've casted like 1 or 2 Alexstrasza games. God, she is. I'm so excited. Like Alexstrasza, like I'm not a support main, but out of all the supports that I've played thus far in the game, Lieutenant Morales was my favorite, like, rework of a support. It's been the most fun because it's just, the grenades are just hilariously fun. And then the other factor, the other healer that came out that I'm actually enjoying to play is Alexstrasza, and I think I do okay with where I play at, but definitely she's pretty strong, and I really like this coming out from the side of Macraroni and Cheese. Going into this matchup, I would honestly be terrified to go up against either of these because there's so many factors. I mean, Divine Shield on a diving Greymane? No thanks, I don't want that. Juwan Axe? Yeah. No, I really... The draft that came up from both teams, I honestly could say it could go either way. But we're going to find out which way it's going to go in just a second as we load here into game number 1 between... There we go. Macraroni and Cheese and Modo. And on the left, we're going to have Macraroni and Cheese with a man on the Lucio, Huff Money on that, on that Arthas. We have Winterheart on the Zul'jin. Edward Torres going to be playing the Alexstrasza, and Nex Eternus, there we go. Nex Eternus going to be rounding it out on the Sonya. Man, the models are all stacked up. And on the right-hand side, we're going to have Modo Gaming with Savo on that Uther, Strange Goat on the Kael'thas, Wait going to be playing the Dahaka, Bronker on that Greymane, and King Dingo going to be rounding it out on the Diablo. I don't know why I almost said Dahaka again. And I punched my mic at the same time. All right. So we're going to go ahead and see both teams are going to be meeting up in mid, going to get that first mid lane clear and then rotate off probably into their solo lanes. Dahaka going to go ahead and try and get a grab out, but it's not going to be anything besides just a minion. But actually, Huff Money taking quite a bit of damage here from the dive from these members, able to get out with that healing from the Lucio as well as a little bit of a speed boost, I do believe. Overall, though, it looks like this will be the clear in favor of the members of Macraroni and Cheese. They'll get that clear, rotate down. Sonya going to be going into that top lane. Dahaka going to be doing the exact same thing, trying to get that early clear, not so you can just kind of back off and just play this lane a little bit more passively. Meanwhile, though, in the bottom lane, we do have this rotation between the members of Macraroni and Cheese, and they're making Swiss cheese of these lanes. And the other thing to consider is that Modo can do the exact same thing with Strange Goat. He does have pretty good wave clear, but at this, actually, King Dingo going to go ahead and just get a little bit of isolation onto Huff Money. There is a boop as well as a Howling Blast, so it looks like that's going to be the kill onto the Diablo, so he will be falling first in this fight, or excuse me, in this matchup. Eureka TV thick. Yeah. But go ahead and just peeking up into the top lane once again. We're going to have Wait versus Nex here, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty even matchup. It's Sonya versus Dahaka. She might be, one of them might get a little bit of an advantage in a fight here, but not until maybe like 7s or so we're going to realistically see these two clashing too hard. Overall, it's just going to be rotations between the bottom and the mid. And also just Winterheart trying to stack up as much as he can, especially off of this King Dingo, who they're potentially going to... No, it doesn't look like they're going to be following it up. Howling Blast does, though, connect onto Strange Goat. They're going to go ahead and get that AoE healing from the Alexstrasza. And it looks like they actually had the Sonya rotating to bottom. Edward Torres taking quite a bit of damage there from the Kael'thas, falling quite low. We do have the Sonya in the mid lane at this time, just trying to help this clear as well as push back some of these members. Going to rotate back up into Wait, though. Now in bottom lane, we do have Bronker trying to get this clear. And they're trying to get this map under control because it's slowly going in favor of Macraroni and Cheese, I do have to say. Their rotations are starting to... I think they've literally left their Greymane in bottom lane, which isn't something we typically see. So it's kind of... It's one of those things that, like, it shows that either Modo doesn't really care for the rotations, or the fact that they're just like, you know what, we're not going to be able to keep up with this, so we'll just, we'll get our Greymane to lane out. Once we see a rotation come out, we'll have him back off a little bit here. But Savo getting caught out by a couple of the members, and it looks like there's the charge in from King Dingo, but Savo might not be able to make it through, and then it's going to be another kill from the Lucio, actually. And that's also going to be the first shrine popping up here into the top lane. Now, granted, death timers aren't that long, but the other thing to consider here is that the experience that is slowly going over in favor of Macraroni and Cheese is just becoming something. It's going to be a problem as this game progresses, and especially with this first Punisher popping up. They can steal this or take this on the side of Macraroni and Cheese. They're definitely going to be really getting that experience advantage in their favor. Once again, Winterhorse just trying to stack up some of those auto attacks off of this King Dingo, and they're maybe even getting the kill onto him, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Gonna have to tap well. Now just peeking up into top, Sonya has started this, gonna be working on this a little bit. Dahaka actually gonna go ahead and Hearth back. Maybe just a little bit low. He does have, I'm going to assume he has Burrow, so he'll be able to utilize that as quickly as possible. Going to go ahead and actually use it, go into the top lane, and just heckle Sonya a little bit more. Lane, there's nothing to really lane up against, so she'll go ahead and just work on that shrine. And it looks like the members of Macraroni and Cheese, they're kind of just like, you guys can kind of have it, like, we'll work on it a bit, but we're going to go ahead and just kind of push bottom lane, it looks like, with this camp. Or at least pick up this camp and create push in bottom lane. This will also push them a little bit closer into those 7 talents. And yeah, they're going to go ahead and just pick up that camp. That'll deal with bottom. Greymane's going to have to go down and deal with that. Though the thing to note here is that in top, they've been slowly working down this Shroud. They don't have the biggest wave clear, but Sonya actually trying to get out here. Going to get tongued by Wait. There's a stun and the lapse from Kael'thas, but with the speed boost from Lucio and the healing from the Alexstrasza, they are able to get out. Now, Alexstrasza has gone into her dragon form. They are currently pinning King Dingo in this bed, in that little area, and does he should be able to get out there. The poison shouldn't be too much for him. Dahaka gonna have to burrow here. They do get the double lapse from the Kael'thas, but it looks like they get all their members out just fine. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Greymane making sure that he gets that experience pickup. Sonya going to be rotating into mid to probably create a little bit more pressure, while the rest of the team is going to be working on this shrine. And, well, they don't know where Greymane... I was going to say with Greymane showing, but he's not showing, so he's going to go ahead and actually pick up that mid lane camp, which will create a little bit of pressure, and hopefully they'll be, force a response from the members of Macraroni and Cheese. But overall, it looks like there's a little bit of a fight that's going to break out here. Charge in onto the Zul'jin, who's going to get swapped over. There is the boop out from the Lucio to make sure that Winterheart does get out of here. Going to get a couple auto attacks off. Going to get those Saw Blades out and slow Savo there. Ton of damage going out onto Wait here from Huff Money, just trying to chase this out. Do have Lucio in a bad spot. Not going to be able to live through all that damage, and we do see Lucio falling in this situation. Now, there are only a couple more skeletal defenders that need to be cleared before the Punisher is there. So they do lose the Lucio, but they're not going to be losing out the Punisher. They go ahead and pick that up, and they should be pushing into the top lane with that. Now, I was going to say that spear out, especially with the poison spear onto Bronker, there would be quite a bit of damage. Wait did go ahead and burrow into that bottom lane. So this is a 3-man push with a 3-man defense, but you have to also factor in that there's a Punisher, and it's a mortar Punisher, and it does do some decent sieging. But the thing to consider here is that it's 3v3, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to I was going to say, I don't know if they're able to really get too much off of this, but it looks like with the Lucio coming back in, they really want to go right past this and go straight into the keep front gate, potentially. They're baiting it over to it, so it looks like the members of Macraroni and Cheese will get this fort, get this well, clear that out. Peeking, though, into bottom lane really quickly, there was a small engagement happening between Nex and Wait. It looks like it was a little bit in the favor of the Sonya. That's Poison Spear, especially with Wrath of Berserker, which we actually do see being popped right now. Looks like she's, we also have the essence being popped from Dahaka. She can keep this up for quite some time. Going to be able to go ahead and just dive right in with that spear, and you can see the amount of damage that does go out. Dahaka utilizing a little bit more of that essence that he had. Meanwhile, though, in top lane, it looks like they're going to go ahead and pick up this camp, which will just pressure that lane, creating a little bit more. And I talked about this in the last time I was casting this map. It's the pacing. So far, Macraroni and Cheese have set the pacing of this match. They're currently saying, we're going to rotate here, we're going to get this camp, we're going to pick off this Dahaka. Ooh, the body block. Guillotine comes out a little bit early, not connecting onto the member, but they still end up getting the kill onto him. So the thing that I'm noting here is that they get this camp, the team has to respond. They rotate into bottom, they get the pick onto Dahaka. Now, the team, as you can see, they're rotating across the map. They want to deal with this mid lane push that I believe was picked up by Sonya, and the fact that they need to now de-push bottom, also soak that, and they're going to also need to deal with this camp in a minute. Sonya going to go ahead and pick up this bruiser camp on top. So this is the thing that when you're on a map like this, keeping the map in your favor of just, you're making the enemy team respond to everything you're doing. You don't give them a chance to really, breathe, get a little bit level evenness, any of that kind of stuff. You're pulling these members all across the map, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And I just have to compliment them on it because they're just doing it well. And it's a nice thing to see. But we do have the Apocalypse coming out, not connecting on any of the members. We do have Alexstrasza going in to the Dragon form. The Guillotine does come out. King Dingo taking quite a bit of damage here. The D-Shield does go out onto the Greymane. He is going to dive back into the fight here, but we do have Centrigosa coming out. They do get quite a bit of damage out onto some of these members. There is the Cleansing Flame that does come out, and it looks like they are getting so much damage onto these members. Alexstrasza will be landing at the far side of this, going to get some healing out onto the Arthas, and actually going to knock back a couple of members. Strange Oak going to be falling here. Savo going to be able to get behind this gate, but this is going to be another fort falling. And the other thing to keep in mind here is, so the fort gets picked up, they get 4 kills. They're going to have this top lane pushing in. Meanwhile, Sonya got that mid lane pushed up a little bit more. Those kills also netted them 13 with that mid wave. Overall, I mean, the pressure and the speed that they're applying to the members of Modo is becoming increasingly more difficult, especially because we're getting these later half talents where some of them, they're huge for some of these members. I mean, look at Sonya with 16 and 20. Some of those are just the sustain that you can get from Sonya at 16 and even 20 is big. So as they progress here, these these 13, 16, and 20 talents are going to be the big things that really start to shift this game over. The other thing to note here is that party mix is now being completed too, so that extra AoE for his healing as well as his speed is going to be beneficial for the team, and you can see that with the aggression and the healing and the advantage that they have, they're just playing this map very far forward. Now, on the side of Modo, what do they do? How do they come back? At this point, realistically, you just have to play. You have to play the side soak game. You have to look for 13s. You go in for a fight. At this point, they know that they can't take this. They might be able to poke in a little bit here and there, but overall, I do not think that they realistically have a fight in this situation. But they're going to go ahead and try for it. We do currently have a dive in. There is the Apocalypse that does come out. They are going to focus the Alexstrasza here, and they're doing a phenomenal job. But the Break It Down isn't utilized. There is also ton of damage coming out. The Cleansing Flame, the D-Shield as well. We currently have Uther falling first in this engagement. We also have King Dingo getting a little bit low here. Wade is also trying to get out. There is the kill onto the Diablo, and they get the slow onto Bronca. The autos are coming out. The boost from Lucio. They get that chase, and they get the kill onto Greymane, and so they're going to go ahead and get this Frozen Punisher. Going to be going down bottom lane, and now the gate and the towers have minimal to little damage on them, but here's the big thing. They got 3 kills. Diablo doesn't have souls, so he's not going to be back instantaneously. They're going to get their Uther here, but they still don't have 13s just yet. And with the experience that they got on the side of Macraroni and Cheese, they're going to be close to 16, if not get it during this push. Oh, okay. We're going to go ahead and just have this team focusing down this fort. It looks like we do have the leap right onto King Dingo there. The Guillotine's going to be coming out as well, and it looks like they're going to be burning down the keep here. With that, as well as the 77% Punisher, they're going to be putting their eyes onto the core here. Do have Wrath of Berserker being popped by the Sonya at this time. Ooh, wait, taking so much damage, especially from the leap there and the Poison Spear. We do have Diablo taking quite a bit. Going to get that charge onto Winterheart, separating him from the team, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Going to get the kill onto the Diablo, and with that staggered death, it looks like they're going to start. They got past the shields. They're going to focus on actually, no, they're going to be continuing to just murder down some of these members as they stay away from the core, while the Sonya and the Punisher end this. And GG, well played. First game going to be going over to Macraroni and Cheese. Game number 2, we are going to be going into Powers of Doom. I like this map. I think it's a really, really fun map to cast, especially. Well, one, it's fun to play on, and two, I think it's a great map to cast because it's not a map where you can really rush core. You get a lot of good plays from teams. You get a lot of interesting plays, too, from teams. So I'm really curious to see what's going to be coming out from them. Now, first ban going over to Macraroni and Cheese, who ended up taking that game on Infernal Shrines, which actually I think was their choice. So we are currently on the choice of Modo Gaming. Ban-wise, do they get rid of the Dahaka here? I mean, it was really strong for them. No, they didn't have it. Modo Gaming had Dahaka. I actually do like the idea of the Greymane ban. He was quite a nuisance for them in comparison to the Dahaka, which I was mentioning before. The Greymane dive with the Uther D shields were they were problematic in situations. That last fight where they did go in when it was they didn't have 13s just yet. They were really, really close or something like that. They were really, really close to 13s, and it wasn't 16 talent tier just yet. And they went in, and Greymane was doing quite a bit of damage, but it was one of those things like they didn't get enough, and it ended up just kind of going over in favor of Macraroni and Cheese.
You could give the best hugs.
LOL Dota. Oh my god. LOL Dota. So is it LOL Dota Otis? LOL Dota Otis? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Ban here on the side, though, of Modo Gaming. There you go. Like that's my kryptonite for the internet. It's just like put a bunch of like words together and have me try and separate them in my brain. Unaverted. Bahamut Bandit 1. What the fuck doesn't work? You have to be a sub for that. It's my sub emote. Genji going to be picked up here on the side of Macraroni and Cheese. I actually really like that. He's really, really good for the rotations, as well as he's got good poke and delay on the shrines. And the other thing to consider here is that if you do get some resets with him, he can be devastating to a team. Dragon Blade is an absolute nuisance to deal with. If they don't go for the Uther this early, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it being banned out by either. I was gonna say they did go double support. So there is a possibility for it, but I think that the way that they did that double support was very balanced. I think they utilized her in more of a damage role than support, and she was just kind of... She offered just a little bit of an extra helping hand to that Lucio for a little bit more of a burst or a full heal towards the end of a fight or something. I think the synergy between Lucio and Alex Draza is very, very strong, and it should be run again or at least banned out. But in this situation, Macraroni and Cheese should probably focus on picking up a healer and probably their solo laner. Ooh. So double reset. Let's just look at that. Double reset on the side of Macraroni and Cheese. You ban out that Uther right away. Tyrael, Li Ming, Genji. No, you just get rid of Uther. You don't want to deal with that. Divine Shield, even Divine Storm. Like let's get a little crazy and talk about Divine Storm. That still has a huge setup for this team for what they've drafted. The double reset is really, well, like, I'm going to repeat it a bunch, but it's a big deal. If you can pull it off and you do get those resets, as I've said too many times, it's too hard to just play into that. Now, here's the thing. I did say you can't really rush core, but you can get all 6 bell towers and start the barrage and just hold them over. So that is something else to consider here. And I'm not saying like, oh, their draft wins. I'm just saying it's terrifying just to start looking at it. And I'm really harping on this Uther because I think it's a strong asset. But they're going to get rid of the Brightwing. I realistically don't think that they would be going to the Brightwing. The boss control from it is powerful. She does have very good vision too. I don't know. I don't think that they would be leaning into it on the side of Macraroni and Cheese. Unless they know it's going to be something that counteracts some sort of dive. Ooh. Unless they're going to like really, really dive heavy composition, so they don't want that Brightwing to have the polymorph to deal with it. Yeah. I think that might be it. Their composition is looking divey, but I mean those two, Lucio, ETC, can go in any direction. And then the ban onto the Dahaka, I'm not opposed to it. I don't think it's a bad ban in any way, shape, or form, to be honest. I think he's a strong hero. I think he works well on this map, and we did see that Modo did pick it up in the last game. But what are we going to get for these next two on the side of Modo Gaming? They're going to need their solo laner, unless they just leave that for their last slot. Gravesville, thank you so much for the host. 9 people, thank you so much. All 9 new people, thank you for swinging by. We are currently in the draft for game number 2 between Macraroni and Cheese and Modo Gaming. This is Division A for the Nexus Gaming Series. Hi to everybody, how you doing? Thank you for swinging by, and once again, thank you to Gravesville for the host. All right, so these next 2 picks here, as I said, maybe they'll flex on their solo lane, and they'll just kind of hold that and see what the rest of the draft is going to be on the side of Macraroni and Cheese. Judgment incoming. Ooh.
My blades are yours.
Ooh. What? What is your draft, Modo? I'm sorry, like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like, where's your damage? So we're going to see, actually, the members of Macraroni and Cheese picking up this Alex Straza once again. Sorry, I just want to post casting once again into the Twitch chat so everyone knows that no Twitch alerts are going to be going off during the actual cast. But if there are any that do go off, I usually just, I'll redo them afterwards. Either way. All right, this last pick. What's your solo lane? What's your solo lane, Mac and Cheese? Is it the Tyrael? Is your Tyrael going to solo lane? Enigmatic Hots is saying it's going to be Malthael. Oh, maybe it's for the other team. Ooh, no, Malthael maybe. Unless Enigmatic Hots, if you can actually see the current draft, holy crap, how? And 2... But I want my host to... All right. Murden going to be showing up here. Okay. So they're going to be solo laning with the Tyrael. That's what I was really curious. And then, so that's going to be going up against the Sonya. Literally, as Gravesville, he was just like, I want my host to show up on stream. Feels bad. I'm like, no, there's a 120-second delay. Like, don't worry. Like, it'll show up. And then, like, I literally just looked over at my stream, like, oh, hey, look at that. There's the host connection. All right. Let's get back into this. Last pick on the side of Modo. Enigmatic Hots, he was talking about Malthael, and I started to mention it a little bit myself. I think it could work, but I don't know. I feel like they just need some sort of bigger damage. Lunara. They go into Lunara. It's Tychus, but I'm okay with Tychus. I think he brings a lot to the fight. Commandeer Odin, even the Draken Laser Drill is a very good zoning tool. Whew. I like this. Let's go ahead. I'm going to broadcast one more time that we are going to be going live. That we are live. Broadcast. Get in here. All right. Let's go ahead, and we're going to be going into game number 2 between Macraroni and Cheese and Modo. Asmo is an interesting pick. I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. HGCHGYFY7. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what word. I don't know what sound to make with my mouth with that. I apologize. Asmodan is an interesting pick. I get excited about Asmodan picks because of the fact that I love playing it myself because I'm a filthy human being. But overall, like I really think that he offers a lot, and into the late half of this game, there's a lot that I think the Asmodan can bring to a team fight, especially and also in delay as well and push power. So we'll see. But let's get into this. On the left-hand side, up one game, we have Macraroni and Cheese with next. Oh God, I have to go slow every time. Nexer tennis. Excuse me. Midi Man, thank you for the follow. He's going to be on the Tyrael. Huff Money going to be on the Muradin. Edward Torres going to be Hearthing right there as Alex Straza. Almond going to be on the Li Ming. And, excuse me, Winterheart going to be on that Genji. Now, in the top lane, we do have Modo with Wait on the Sonya. We have Bronker on the ETC. King Dingo going to be playing... Actually, excuse me, Bronker on that Asmodan. King Dingo going to be on the ETC. We have Savo on the Lucio, and we have Strange Goat on the Tychus. Sorry about that delay. I stumbled over Nex Eric's name like so bad. It just got me caught up. We're going to go ahead and just quickly note here on the Asmodan level 1, we are going to be having that Sieging Wrath, so he's going to be trying to stack off of a few of the members there. Oh, okay. He got the delay. Okay. I was just like, whew, that was a little worrisome. All right, King Dingo going to go ahead and slide out into Amon there, just doing a little bit of damage. Not going to be able to get too much. I mean, this is level 1. They're not going to be able to have any sort of like major clear fight. Wait going to be actually rotating into the top lane to go up against that Tyrael. Goat Tychus God. And we're going to be just having, it looks like Asmodan's just going to be focusing the mid. Genji's a very hard talent, very hard hero for him to hit. Realistically, so I just want to note this really quickly. This is just me as my own personal 2 cents on this. It's just if you're an Asmodan player, don't put your Asmodan in the solo lane. It's random typing. Don't try. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So you put your Asmodan with your 4-man because he's going to get a lot more value with the stacking quest, and the whole thing is like you want that range buff, you want that damage buff, and so the quicker you get it, the better he's going to be. It's just, that's just like my 2 cents because they always throw me in the solo lane. I don't like it. In bottom, though, we do have a few of these members, and this is pretty much where all the action is. They are pushing in quite hard at this time. Peeking into the top lane, Tyrael versus the Sonya. It looks pretty even. The generals are going to make it a little bit difficult for him, but overall, doesn't look like it's going to be too bad for him. Just really quickly looking at the level 1 talents. He actually did go in for Justice for All, so he actually went for that buff onto the shields there. He didn't go for the auto attack at level 1. Power Slide coming through onto Huff Money there. Out a little far, but able to probably have that Dwarf Toss as well as the healing from Edward Torres here is going to be pretty beneficial. They're going to go ahead and move their Asmodan into the bottom lane, going to be able to stack a little bit better here, as well as they're going to be rotating the Tychus into mid. Now, Genji was in top for a little bit here, but it looks like they'll go ahead and just bring him down here just to kind of push back the Tychus a little bit. Huff Money, oh, no, I was going to say, he might have been taking a little bit of damage. They're not going to be really following up. Does get another stack for the Asmodan Q there. Peeking to some of the other level 1 talents as well as some of the level 4s here. Doesn't look like it's too anything out of the ordinary. Going to just try and peek at Tyrael's here and there just so I learn them a little bit better. He did go for that Stalwart Angel, which is going to give that armor buff there. And it's pretty big. It looks like he's going to be utilizing that cooldown reduction, I think, at 13. Just armor forever. And it looks like they're going to be trading out the tops almost simultaneously. Mid was still just being soaked by the rest of the members there. And it looks like Sonya will be staying in top. Tychus will be staying in mid. They're going to be going for that soak. And they're going to get this channel. Looks like Li Ming should be able to get this. They're going to have to back off. King Dingo a little bit low on mana himself. The delay isn't... Oh, they actually didn't go for the delay. But the other thing to note here is that Sonya is getting currently free push into top. They are making these kind of short rotations from these 2 members to get the clear a little bit quicker. Now, if Sonya's not showing in top, do they go for the check onto the camp? Winterheart does see this. Tychus is, or excuse me, Tyrael is going to just leave that push. She does know. He does go in for it. They go in for the dive for it, but I don't think this is going to be enough. She should be able to spin out of this without a problem. Now, this camp is probably going to be stolen away, which is going to be pretty big for those members now. And so, you know, guiding that in will be a little bit of a benefit for those teammates because they were having their top pushed in a little bit from those generals and that Sonya. We do just peeking into bottom really quickly, just the healing that's coming up from Alex Straza. Just keeping these members just so actively like healthy in this bottom lane is just so beneficial. I agree with that statement. All right, so King Dingo having to tap well, getting a little bit low there. The other thing to note here is that we have another shrine going to be popping up quite soon. And it's going to be in the mid position, so we do have all the most of the teams should be rotating in for that nice big team fight. And I don't think 10s are going to be there 10s aren't going to be there just yet, so we're not going to have any sort of big blow up. But we do have a power slide in from King Dingo. We do have Huff Money taking quite a bit of damage, going to get that knockback, but we're going to have Winterheart diving in here, trying to get some damage out. Amon a little bit low. There is also the laser coming out from the Azmodan. And it looks like at this time there is another stack going out for him, but these members of Macraroni and Cheese, they use the dragon form of Alexstrasza. They're going to go ahead and pick up this camp, get a little bit of healing. And the other thing to note here is that the that laughter you just heard, that was the boss spawning, so that is currently active on map, and that's another thing to keep in mind as we're going to be getting into the later half of this game. Once we see a couple members lose a team fight, watch that be the priority for the team here. Now I'm trying to get a little bit trying to get in position here, but not a lot of mana on the Li Ming here, so she can't do too much. Going to wait with some of those talents. They're just going to back off after they get the channel onto this. Tyka's going to go ahead and actually going to get chased by a couple of the members. Nexus is right behind him, but he is mounted up. There is actually the demount from Winterheart, but they do have the... he's right by the gate, so he's going to be able to get out of there just fine. And here's the thing, the general in top lane just pushing this up, getting quite a bit of value here. They're going to go ahead and have to get that clear. Sonya just checking that camp. Doesn't look like it was picked up actually ever. I just realized myself. Stun going to be going out from Huff Money, making sure he gets more stacks here. Another dunk going out from Azmodan. We do have a little bit of a body block happening, but it's not going to be enough. There won't be another power slide or anything to interrupt that, so Huff Money going to be able to get out of that safe. Top lane, though, is currently being overrun by quite a few members. They're going to go ahead and get this camp. There's not really too much Sonya can do besides play safe by the gate. Doesn't want to be giving over a free kill or anything in this situation. There's the dive in from the Genji. And overall, I mean, it looks like they'll be able to clear this out in time. Not going to be a big deal. King Dingo not going to get caught out. No big deal. And overall, I mean, it's just been a nice... It's been a nice paced game for Macraroni and Cheese. Modo is not too far behind, though. Judgment going in on to this Sonya, taking quite a bit of damage. There's a stun out from the Murder, and that is going to solidify the kill. The other thing to note here is, all right, we got Dragon Blade, Cleansing Flame, Li Ming still holding because probably for the ETC, which did take Mosh to look for Wave of Force. We do have Judgment, but Haymaker. Haymaker, team. Haymaker. Haymaker was picked up. What? I mean, I can kind of see why, but I just, every time I get it, like, every time I see it, I'm just like, please, no. But, I mean, it works with the composition that they currently have. I like how they're going to utilize it in this situation. They do have two tanks that they can kind of, well, you know, they have two tanks who can just body a lot of damage. So going that Haymaker, you don't need the Avatar. It's going to be a beneficial repositioning tool for some of these team fights. Looks like they're going to go ahead and capture this over right away, too, and just back right off of this. They don't need to fight. Either team doesn't really need to fight. Azmodan going to be going ahead and trying to get another stack here. Going to be getting that black... Actually, excuse me, he was finished. Getting that black pool onto Murden, but the leap was actually denied there with the knockback from the Kale... from ETC. Not even like the right hero there. Dive going to be going in onto wait here. The spin is going to be coming out. King Dingo taking quite a bit of damage. Able to power slide out. It's not going to be a big deal, but once... I mean, they're controlling this bottom right now really, really well. You can see that these other lanes... Generals are just being thrown into them, which is going to be beneficial for the members of Modo. But at the same time, they need to worry about this because if it gets fed into and they hold this over, it's pretty big during this next altar phase here. But we do actually have Huff Money finishing out that Stormhammer questing talent. We do have the members diving on here. Commandeer Odin is used, but it looks like Huff Money will be capturing this over. They don't get it in time on the side of Modo, but they do want to take this fight. There is the knockback from the Alexstrasza. I do believe that was actually a Mosh setup, but King Dingo falling low here, going to be falling. We have the Cleansing Flame coming out. Leap is going to be used by the Sonya, but it's not going to be enough. The Dragon Blade will be getting that kill. Alexstrasza landing here, going to be going ahead and getting the clear and pushing back this wave. While these Pumpkin Sappers are going to be diving into this tower, they should be able to convert this very easy, and that's going to be perfect timing for Macraroni and Cheese. The altars will be spawning. They can go ahead and Amon's going to go back, and it looks like they'll be able to just get full and prepare for this next phase. It's very much in their favor. Azmodan has been getting a lot of that side push. Also, throwing these dunks out, pushing these lanes up as best as he can, getting the side soak. But overall, this is going to be... I don't know if this is just a give or what they're going to be doing with this Genji in the top, and he will be showing through there, but Azmodan is there as well. ETC should be able to stall this out for a little bit. They're going to go ahead and try and burn this down on the side of Modo game, or I keep saying gaming, just Modo. Looks like it will be King Dingo going to be chased back here. And it looks like they're not able to convert this in time, so 10 shots in total going over to the core of Modo here. So 14-36. Dive a little bit onto Bronca there from Winterheart, but it's not going to be a big deal. Now, the thing is, are they going to... This is risky if they invade this. They don't have 13s, they don't have all their members here. The Sony is not really in position, and they don't have any sort of damage to follow it up. So this is going to be picked up and probably pushed in. Now, in top lane, we do have the Tychus. Actually, is he... No, he's just going to be rotating into mid. Overall, this is going to be another... Asmodean trying to get the... Not staying in the black pool there. Overall, though, they're going to be guiding these in, and look at the teams actually going to be rotating down at this point to make sure that they do defend this and they don't really take these pumpkin sappers to this keep. Excuse me, forward at this time. ETC going to get that knockback for a hot second, but the shielding that's out from Arthas is actually going to be completely turned around. Lucio trying to break it down to the last second, but Next going to get that judgment right in, so they move right onto this end. So if they can get these next 3 altars, this could be game ending for them, maybe even boss, but Winterheart taking quite a bit of damage. That is the bottom fort currently falling. We do already have them working towards these pumpkin sappers. If they can guide these in, this will be pretty big for them as well. I mean, overall, I mean, this is Mac and Cheese's game. Modo is playing Mac and Cheese's game. There you go. I had to pause and say it right there. I'm saying this because of the fact that it's just they're doing everything they want to do on the side of Macraroni and Cheese, and Modo has to respond to so many of this. And I talked about this, I think, in the last game as well. And you can already see it in this situation. Huff Money just basically face-checking this bush without really any worry. The rest of the team will be able to just kind of follow this up. Alex draws a healing circle, not going to be able to get there. But the break it down is used by the Lucio. Edward Torres is going to go ahead and pop the Dragon Form for the bigger area of healing, as well as for that gust back if they do want it. But there is actually the mosh pit onto a couple of members in this backline, so no follow-up damage. There is the ETC, or Asmodean trying to get that damage up, but ETC will be falling right after. Cleansing Flame going to be coming out from the Alex Strauss. Another Judgment coming out from the Tyrael here. It looks like they are able to pick up that kill, even standing in the Wall of Death area. They do get that little... They get the foot of Tyrael with that dunk, but it looks like that is going to be both of these altars channeled. GGs are thrown out. So it looks like this is going to be game number 2 going over to Macraroni and Cheese. They'll be taking 3 points tonight. GG, well played. Whew. I gotta say, what a game! What a game! All right, let me go ahead and just mute myself and also just message the captain. Where are you? I'm gonna pass it on stream too. I'm always just going to pass his name because it's going to blend in with everything else. There you are. All right. Lobby 2 for interview. All right. So we'll see who they send into us, but all the way, by the way, laughing underwater. Hold on. I want to at least give you this. Winterheart is going to be coming. Okay, cool. So Laughing Underwater, that's such a good name, I really gotta say. But thank you so much for the follow. But with me, I have Winterheart. Congratulations on your win. How you doing tonight?
Hello, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I am doing phenomenal. Those games were honestly a treat to cast. Thank you guys just so much. Well, first off, I just also got to thank you guys and Modo as well. Like, thank you guys for waiting and waiting that little bit extra time so I could come and cast your game. That was really, really nice of you guys. Thank you. Yeah,
no problem. Thank you for casting. Honestly, it's fun to have their games cast, so you can always go back on it and watch.
It's a blast. Like I really love it. And casting Division A, it's like I've been doing so much like B and C, and I don't think I've gotten an A game in yet this season. So getting to cast you guys, I'm not saying that those ones are bad or anything. It's just the way you guys play is terrifying. Like, I really gotta say. And so I have a couple questions. And so on map number 1 on Infernal Shrines, that Greymane Uther combination, when they drafted that, did any of that, were you just like, crap, like we need to play, did you have to change your play style at all, or were you guys still like confident and you were like, you know what, that's not really going to affect us, we know how to play around that?
We were pretty comfortable against it. We knew that we were going into it that we were going to do double support, and so we were fairly confident that we could just live through that burst. And didn't think it was actually going to be a problem. And because he went Cursed Bullet and we had double tank, double support, like we were never really in kill pressure.
Right.
Even when we faced Tank to Pyro near the end, like I think
I saw that. I
Arthas
was
faced
just,
Tank to Pyro.
I saw the circle around Arthas, and then I saw another circle. I'm like, Arthas, that's a weird. Oh, okay, no.
Give the best
Yeah.
hugs.
And so we were pretty comfy. Like it wasn't too bad, and then we knew as long as we out sustained them, that we would just win fights. And so we picked a carry like Zul'jin who can just
Mhm.
sit back and be a turret and doesn't really need to like hard engage.
Mhm.
And then we just won from there.
You guys did a phenomenal job, I do have to say. And then just game number 2, and I'm just trying to lean into just some of the draft questions here because I want to try and get an idea of like how you guys see these things in draft. When an Azmodan pops up on your screen, what do you say or what do you do as a team? Like, because he's not, I wouldn't say like a conventional pick. You don't see him that often. So is that something where you're just like, ooh, that might be something that could affect us in the later half of the game, so we need to end quicker? Or is that something we're just like, that's an Azmodan, whatever?
Part of it was we knew they were going to have global pressure, so we had to make sure to stay on top of our macro. We didn't end up drafting a global ourselves, but we could have if necessary. But we were already kind of heavy into the reset comp, so we just went for that. And then it kind of changed how we were going to play with the Tyrael, because we were maybe thinking Sank, like just in case they dive on us, we can Sank counter engage.
Sure, yeah.
But then, like once we saw that, we knew we could just judgment the Lucio and probably win every fight off of one reset, and then it was it.
It was, I gotta say, that Tyrael play, the judgments, everything was just outstanding. I mean, there was like a point blank judge too that I saw, and I was like, okay, you guys just like just melted a Lucio at some point. And then just really quickly, I just gotta ask, Haymaker, I gotta ask you guys about that. Was it just like, oh, like we have it for strategic like repositioning, or is it just like, you know what, we just, you know, like we don't need Avatar, we can win this with Haymaker? I don't know, like what's the thought behind it?
Playmaker is the way. No, realistically though, it was our comp was we get one pick and win like off of that fight.
Okay.
So if we got a judgment into a playmaker on like a Lucio, like we were saying, or even a Sonya, honestly at that point, or maybe Tychus because he's pretty short range. Like if we can isolate one person and send them back into our team, they're just dead.
And you're very
use it on
right.
that camp to like back off and force a little bit of positioning.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. So just, I mean, before I let you go, any shout outs you want to give?
Shout outs to my team. I know Jaeger's in chat. He's their captain, but he couldn't make it today. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody on my team. Like we were playing really well, communicating pretty clearly. But yeah, thank you. Hey, shout out to you for casting.
Oh
Thank
no,
you.
it's you guys just provide all this. I just get to show up and I'm just like, I wanna yell at my computer for a couple hours and we'll just watch these people play a game. So no, I absolutely just appreciate you guys just letting me do this, and also once again just thank you guys so much for just waiting, and this was an absolute blast to cast. I'm gonna be definitely trying to keep an eye on you guys, maybe see if I can pick you guys up a couple more times throughout the season.
Sounds good, man. We'd love to have you.
All right, well thank you so much again, and once again as well, congratulations on your 3 points and your win.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right.